to this computer. And hold on a second. I learned some fancy things of how to best record. Turns out I don't know much. Anyways, welcome everyone. Thanks so much for joining today. We are pretty excited. I should probably first ask our team to introduce themselves a little bit, just a hi or, so that we know who you are. My name is Biplabendu, or in short, Bilu. Ali, do you want to say hi?
Hi, I'm Ali.
Yeah. And then we have Dorota.
Hi, I'm Toyota.
And hi,
You can
I'm
also
Le.
say, sorry, I should have said like where you are and what you do. Maybe like a one liner would be amazing. We'll go back to Ali. Who are you, Ali?
I am a rising fourth year PhD student at UCSD in their neurosciences graduate program.
Dorota.
Hi, I'm a research scientist at MIT. I'm working with Satya Ghosh and Hypernium team.
Le.
I'm Le, so I'm a data scientist at the DIRC of ABCD study.
Perfect. So these are three amazing gems of the team. I am Bilu. I had an idea and I restarted with this idea, and they did so much hard work that I'm really excited to share what we have achieved in the last couple of months. I also am a coworker with Le. I work with Janusz's team in the ABCD DARC port, and yeah, we are basically, let me just phrase where it all began before I say what we are going to demo today. I should give a huge shout out to the ABCD Repronym team. So they organized their first in-person hackathon. Oh, Angie, who are you? Angie's here,
Hi,
Angie.
Hi, I'm Angie Laird. I'm so excited to see this presentation because this project originated at the ABCD Repronym Hackathon that we had this past January in South Florida.
Yeah,
So
and if you need more motivation, you can see the pictures. Of course, you get to go and hang out with some amazing people, as you can see the smiles here. But also, from what I hear, Angie, correct me if I'm wrong, but they're gonna host it again in the same resort where you have an amazing view of the ocean, although you might be inside hacking away, but there will be
that's
access to water. Um,
right.
no, yeah, thanks so much for giving us the opportunity. We started there with an idea of we all four of us, like, we have been in the ABCD study, and it's a giant longitudinal study, and it has been going on for now 10 years, past 10 years, and it has more than, well, Janusz corrected me. In my head, it ingrained 80,000 variables, but now we have crossed 90,000 variables of tabular data that we release every year. And it is a lot of different things that researchers have access to in terms of understanding. So I'm gonna, like, if you have ever used the ABCD dictionary, you can, of course, like, there are ways in which you can download and just open it in Excel. But if you don't know, there is this, I'm going to start throwing a few things in the chat, but we also will share these things with all of you. I have your email IDs. If you don't mind, I will send a follow-up email with some of the resources so you can actually have it all in one place. So this portal is by default open to public, where you can actually go to this little page which says create a data set, which gives you access to this nice little, it's, by the way, this is called Deep. It's also developed within our team. It's part of the DRC's one of the projects of like making an in cohort. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like a lot of people involved. NIH, the ABCDCC, DRC. It's a joint project of all of these people, but our team is definitely a lead in taking this beautiful little portal where you can look through. As you can see at the bottom here, I'm showing 94,852 variables. And this is your giant data dictionary with all the different columns representing the different things we actually release in a very nice way put here, so you can actually find. And you can also click this details to take a quick look at what's in the data. And this is also, again, freely available to users without even having to access the data. But once you have a data, the DUC, as we call it, data user contract, I think. But if you have access to the data, you can actually also use this deep platform to download some of this tabulated data. What we realized it's difficult to do is there are so many domains. So you'll see at some point there will be like there is a mental health domain, there is a a novel tech domain, there is physical health. There's so many different domains, and sometimes similar questions are asked in very disparate different forms. And it is hard to be on top of all of these things, right? So one way you can of course do it is like suppose you have a keyword, I can go here like mental health, right? I can search, and if I search, it filters down to I have like 85,000 rows. Basically, each of them are one individual released data element. But sometimes, and Satra showed me this, is like if you type the word IQ, for example, search it. Oh, I guess IQ does exist but it's not going to be a label. Let me see if I can go. It's, I think, hitting something somewhere. But the whole idea is like if I type intelligence or IQ. So now you're going to a realm is like you have a few keywords, and it's like one fairly small example, but you have suppose a bunch of different keywords. What it is doing all these searches, even when you go to like Lasso, which is another platform where you can go through the data dictionary as a non-user, as a public user without any access, it's doing a string matching, right? So we basically wanted to build something where you can semantically search the data dictionary. And we wanted to focus, to start with, we wanted to focus on only one column, which is this column that has the label for what the variable name is called this, but it has a label associated that is curated, maintained by work groups with some of across all the different domains. The work groups help us define what these different fields should be called. And these labels are a very useful source of information because they have some of the things that you might want to like find. So if, for example, this is hard to see here, but when I type IQ, what you'll find is like none of these little labels actually hit IQ. What it probably is hitting is some other metadata information which has the term IQ next to each other. So that was our first idea, and that is what we built. And I'm going to quickly go through because I want to like stop at some point so you can ask questions and we can tell you what the app probably can and cannot do. But okay, so let's open this up. So this is a freely available web app at currently as it stands, and also it has its own GitHub repo, which is also public, and I will point again to those things. But when you open this app up, it basically gives you this layout. And on the left side, you have a little box which lets you type in what you want. So if I say intelligence, maybe I don't know how to type it. Also, this is the beauty of it. You can make spelling mistakes, and that's fine because it's like semantic search. So sometimes it takes care of that. Or IQ. So you basically will have this, and I'm just going to enter, and I'm going to walk you through what the different things are. So what you get is you basically get a list. It says, oh, I have 124 rows. Basically, these are that many different variables, what you got. And now if you look at the descriptions, you start to see there's something that is more closely related to what you want compared to what you find in deep. Of course, if you type IQ, you basically get all of these labels that doesn't really match what you're looking for, right? So here it's semantically searching this description or the label column because we already provided a whole map to this app like, hey, this is all the 94,000 different variables. This is a space in which you can search. So it takes your keyword, it converts it into a little small vector and then searches in that space like, oh, these are the different things. Now, one thing that I should, so this is basically me orienting you, and of course I want you to go play with it, is you can select the kind of the strictness you want. Basically, you can see like the first column is a score column, and that is telling you how similar this little keyword you had is to this description. So the higher the score, the more similar your keyword is. So it gives you more confidence in the variable that you might want to look at. Of course, you can start with a very strong or stringent one, and if you can search, now you will see nothing will come up because none of these match a 50% similarity. So we basically set a default to 0.3, but of course, like you can play with it. There are other things. So suppose I want sleep disorders and let's say anxiety. And if I type this, you'll find there's like now 1,600 around variables, right? And maybe as you can see the score, the highest score is 0.61. So you can, of course, maybe make it slightly stringent. Okay, I want only 0.4. And, it will reduce it already. Now, one thing you might want to also do by default, so look, I came up with this naming scheme. I'll keep it as is, as a tribute. So we have two versions of the model, or basically the space you can search. One is the Chatbot Pro, which is our no imaging data set. So we basically take the imaging domain out just because it has thousands and thousands of different variables that might not be necessary for your research. But you can also search the Max Ultra, which is all 94,000 different variables. So if I now search the same thing, as you can see, it's like 367 right now. But if I search it again on the giant one, it increased. Wait, did it increase by one? Let's see. Yeah, it just increased by one, which it just added one extra thing. But if you, again, now if you have sleep disorder, anxiety, and let's say brain development, or let's say white matter development. If I select the no imaging and search, it will give me 204. But if I select the other one and search, I'm hoping that we'll get way more now. Now you have 343 rows. So the good part is you actually can like think about what you want to do. Now, once you have landed, I'm going to remove. That is the part of our semantic search. You actually get to a smaller set of hopefully relevant variables. But now you can use this as a generic dashboard where you can filter, right? As we said, we have different domains. We have sources in case. Is it a youth response or is it a parent responded form? So you can click the source here and select the one you're interested in. Maybe we only care about the youth forms, right? Or the variables that comes from youth forms. And for variable type, now the more and more you look and read into the data dictionary, you realize there are different kinds of variables we release. Some are administrative, some are item level, which comes directly from the form. There are derived items, and then there is the summary score. These are like thousands of scores that are computed from like pre-computed and released to the consortium that they can use out of the box. And those might be highly relevant to your research because it already does all the math and all the computation for you. So you can basically filter them out and you are left with 199 rows. So you can now, if you want more information, so by default, we only show you a few metadata information, but you click one of these, it gives you all the information you might, basically it comes with the data dictionary. So it will tell you exactly the label, but also it will sometimes give you other information. These are summary scores, so it has slightly limited. But the good part is you can take this little URL here, and you can basically go to the exact specific page where it defines how this score was actually computed. Now, other thing you can do as you're going through it, you'll realize, hey, I don't like, this is not very relevant. You can click through a bunch of these things that might not be relevant, and you can click this delete selected rows, and it will delete those rows. And that is one added functionality we actually made sure you have, so you can actually curate it to your own needs. And then there's the basic ones where you can, of course, you can also like further hone down, like, okay, I want to only look at mental health. And then you can download this as a CSV, which will give you the variable name and the description. But one fine feature of Deep is you actually have this little icon right here where you can click this. It gives you an area to paste all the variable names you want to look at. So instead of looking at this, I don't know, 4,000 different things, what you can do is I'm going to go back to the default view. Sorry. So create a data set. We're back to the view you probably are used to, 94,000 things. I'm going to click this. And I'm going to go back to here you have a copy variable names. If you do this, what it actually gives you is something ready to be pasted here. So if I paste, it gives you one variable name per line. And this is what this little paste region actually accepts. Now you have to select the variable name, it's NDA. These are different versions of names exist in ABCD just because of how long it's been running. But you have to select the variable name just because this is the latest. NDA is the previous ones that used to happen. Now we have variable name, we click submit, and you'll see this pop up here, hey, add this 37 variables to your data set. Now, if you go back, this is exactly how many we had. We had 37, so we can click this add 37 variables. Now you go to edit and save, and this is where you can actually come and look at your details like of this individual. So you basically go from the semantic search app to quickly going into Deep, curating a smaller set that you can then fine grain, either look at them or you download the whole data set. Yeah, so that's pretty much what we have. And of course, if you're using our user and you have used NBDC tools, it gives you a small snippet. We're still working on giving you a bit more code, so it's like easier for you to just copy paste from here directly into our session. And if you have access to the data, or you are using one of the NIH or DRC or Lasso's code spaces, you can basically also get the data that way. All right, I think I have gone through most of everything. Now, one quick thing, if you open it for the first time, it will show you, but by default, if it doesn't, you can click this take a tour. For example, if you forget what different things does, it actually will walk you through all these different elements we have, so you actually know what is what and how to basically use this app. All right, I think I'm good to stop here, and we'll basically open it up for questions so we can tell you maybe what it cannot do. Because this is straight out the bat, this is not your classic LLM chatbot because it's built with very simple model and it is just doing a semantic search. So if you ask it to plot something, find you specific numbers, none of that's going to work, right? Okay, I'm just gonna stop sharing for now, and then we'll open this up for questions. Feel free to unmute yourself and ask any questions you have. Or you can also put it in the chat, and we have Ali, Dort, and Leo. They can answer those too. And also, please, yeah, if you can access the chat, Ali just posted the feedback form. So if you can take some time later, either right now or later today, to just share some of your thoughts, that would be great. And yeah, the recording, we will share it. I think we did a good job in making sure everything here can be shared in public, but I will talk to Angie and see if, if this could go somewhere in ABCD Repronym's site, because they have a lot of amazing recordings. Yeah, she's giving us the thumbs up. So yeah, we'll try to make sure it's somewhere that is accessible to most people, and then we'll share the link with everyone through your emails or social media channels too.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Sorry if I missed this. Are you planning on having this as part of Deep at some point?
The Deep team definitely wants to have this integrated and more, because right now we are using everything as open source and freely accessible, and nothing,
Mhm.
no API, no token, nothing. But I know the Deep team is working towards a solution where you can basically do this in their
Mhm.
portal and do some more stuff. And I think the idea would be that they will use some of the most powerful models that can do more than just semantic search. I think that's what I hear. Yeah, this was basically a fun little proof of concept project for us because I know nothing like this yet exists. So,
Mhm.
and the number of variables just keeps increasing. Release cycle, release cycle. Yeah,
That's
thanks,
cool. Thank
Diana.
you.
Any other questions? Oh, if not, maybe I will share if that's okay. Um, Let me quickly find and share the GitHub repo because some of
I
you,
heard before. Yeah.
oh, you did already. Awesome. Yeah. So play with it. It is like we have tried to make it in a way that it is modular and the configuration file lives by itself. That suppose tomorrow, like we will do it on our end, but suppose you have a different data dictionary from a different study and you want to do the same thing, it should be actually not that difficult. If you go here, it comes with a little documentation website too, which actually explains what is running in the background, but also using the app locally. You should be able to, maybe you want to switch the model that we use to do the semantic search from, like we use a mini LM version 2, but I'm sure they're like more powerful um, other tools available. You want to switch, you can do that. But yeah, I mean, and if you have any suggestions for us, please feel free to open different issues or any future requests you have. You can put it in the feedback form or directly in GitHub would be amazing. All right. I think we're nearing the end. Any further questions? If not, I just want to thank again everyone and let me go back to my slides. As I promised, LinkedIn images for the amazing team we have here. I am sorry, I apologize. I should have asked you for better pictures, but here it is. It's on LinkedIn, it's here. Thanks so much, Alila and Dorota, for everything you do, and we hope to continue this little small project. One of the future directions we really think would be useful is bringing the same thing to HBCD because it's a very simple, hopefully simple and easy thing to translate to HBCD and bring the data dictionary in. But we might want to play with other things in the near future. We'll keep you updated. But yeah, thank you so much for joining, everyone. And I would like to close by thanking everyone from the ABCD Repronym team, who I think most of them, except Wes couldn't make it, but everyone there on the page here, David, Satra, JB, Carlos, they were amazing help, and and of course Angie was a champion for all of us. So thanks so much for making this happen. All right, people, thank you so much. We will follow up with a little email. So just check your emails either today or tomorrow. And yeah, thanks.